friends, it's me, Olivia. Sorry if it seems like I'm in a rush. We're gonna have to make this quick because it's the holidays and I have a lot of plans on my calendar. It looks like I have something every single day leading up to the big day, Christmas. Christmas is celebrating Jesus, God's greatest gift. Ooh, there's a present for me under the tree. This one says, to Olivia, love Grandma. It's my favorite pie. And it smells so good, but the taste, every year we go to my grandparents' house for the holidays, and my grandma always makes the best food. I eat so much, but I always save room for pie. But this year, we're gonna have to change plans a bit. We may not get to spend as much time at my grandparents'. It's kind of a bummer when plans don't go as expected, but we're trying to make the best of things and still find things to be joyful about. I guess that's why my grandma sent me this pie. Hey, the story today is about changing plans. This girl, Mary, had to change her plans, but not just for the holidays, for her whole life. Do you think she was able to be joyful anyway? We'll find out in our Bible lesson time. I think I'll stick around for the story and the pie. And I heard the Butlers are joining us again today. But first, let's spread some joy by worshiping together.
Hey guys, come on in.
Let earth receive her King. Let every heart prepare him room. And heaven and nature sing. And heaven and nature sing. And heaven and nature sing.
Hi everybody. Our story today is found in Luke 1, which is in the New Testament of the Bible, and it's all about Mary, the mother of Jesus. I am so excited to tell you about her. You might even say that I'm experiencing quite a bit of joy. This time of year brings so much joy. I love Christmas. I love looking at the lights. I love listening to Christmas music and the Christmas food. There's so much joy. But Mary's story did not start out with joy. It began with Mary wondering what in the world was going on. You see, Mary was an ordinary girl from an ordinary town called Nazareth. She would have grown up learning the Jewish scriptures, so she would have known that God had promised to send a Savior one day, just like we talked about last week when we talked about God's promises. But I don't think that Mary ever imagined how God's plan would actually involve her. At the time of our story, Mary was engaged to a carpenter named Joseph. Mary and Joseph probably expected their lives to follow an ordinary path. But one day, everything changed. Suddenly, Mary found herself in the very center of God's plan for all people, for all time. Let's jump into the action, okay? You see, I have some friends that are going to help me today, and they're going to show you some of the different scenes that we had in the Bible. All right? The angel Gabriel appeared to Mary. He told Mary that God had a big plan for her. He said in the Bible in Luke 1:28, "The Lord has blessed you in a special way. He is with you." Mary was very upset and must have looked really terrified, because then Gabriel said, "Do not be afraid, Mary. God is very pleased with you. You will become pregnant and give birth to a son. You must call him Jesus. He will be great and will be called the Son of the Most High God." I want you to come with me for a minute. We're going to look back in time and see what that might have looked like. You ready? That was pretty cool, wasn't it? I loved going back in time. So this news was a lot for Mary to take in. She was going to have a son, the Son of God, and he would be the long-awaited Savior who God had promised his people hundreds of years earlier. Gabriel also told her something else. He said, "Your relative Elizabeth will have a child, even though she's very old." People thought she could not have children, but she'd been pregnant for 6 months, and that's because what God says will come true always comes true. Mary must have felt really scared and confused, but her answer to the angel was full of faith and courage. She told him, "I serve the Lord. May it happen to me just as you said it would." Then Gabriel left. Mary was amazed at what the angel had said. Not only was she going to have a baby, God's son, but her older relative Elizabeth was going to have a baby too. It seemed impossible. Mary hurried to visit Elizabeth. Listen to what Elizabeth said to Mary when she arrived. She said, "God has blessed you more than other women, and blessed is the child you will have. As soon as I heard the sound of your voice, the baby inside me jumped for joy. You are a woman God has blessed. You have believed that the Lord would keep his promises to you." Whoa, did you hear that? Elizabeth's baby jumped in her belly when he heard Mary's voice. I'm going to go back in time again to check that situation out. Do you want to come with me? Let's go. Wow, Elizabeth was older than I imagined. God can do some pretty amazing things, right? Mary was so filled with joy that she sang a song to God. Mary said, "My soul gives glory to the Lord. My spirit delights in God, my Savior. He has taken note of me, even though I'm not considered important. He shows his mercy to those who have respect for him. He has filled with good things those who are hungry. He has helped the people of Israel who serve him. He has done it just as he promised to the people long, long ago." Mary realized that God was doing what he had promised long ago, and he had chosen her to be a part of it. At the end of 3 months, Mary returned home to Nazareth, ready to see how God's plan would unfold for her. Mary understood that God had a plan and a purpose for her life, and that gave her great joy. God has a plan for each and every one of us too. The bottom line is you can have joy because God has a plan for you. You know what I love about this story? I love how God had a plan for Mary and for Elizabeth too. The truth is, God has a good plan for me and for all of you. I mean, it must have been really shocking for Mary when she heard the news from the angel, right? She could have never imagined that she would be the one to give birth to the Savior of the whole world. But while she didn't fully understand how everything would work out, Mary trusted God. She believed that God had a good plan for her life. We can trust God too. We can trust him no matter what. That's how we find joy. Real joy comes from knowing that God has a plan for you. Even when things don't happen exactly how you would expect, and you can find joy in knowing that God is with you and that he's working toward that good plan that he has already set for you. God's plan to send Jesus to be Mary's son was part of his good plan for your life too, not just Mary's. God sent Jesus to rescue you because he loves you so much. We have a great way to remember that with our memory verse for this month. It's found in Luke 2:11. Can you say it with me? "Today in the town of David, a Savior has been born to you. He is the Messiah, the Lord." Great job. We know that Jesus came to be our Savior. That's why we celebrate Christmas, and that's why we can have great joy.
Welcome to Finding Joy with the Butlers. We're back again, and today we learned about Mary finding joy in a very uncertain situation. So today we're going to check out some situations that come in our real lives that have joy and where they fall on our joyometer. Here we go. Our first situation, getting an A on your math test. Where do you think that could
Big one.
fall on our joyometer from 0 to 100? An A on our math test, 39.
Ooh,
It does give us joy,
39.
but
I thought that'd be high.
I thought it'd be higher too, but it's good. 39. Great score. Let's learn about the number 39.
And level 1, our level 1 knowledge about 39 is you can make 39 using your expanded form. 30 plus 9 will give you that because you have 3 tens and 1 and 9 ones. Our level 2 knowledge, level 2, you can also make 39 using 13 times 3, which is very exciting using your multiplication fact. And our Einstein level knowledge, did you know that you can make the number 39 using the first 3 powers of 9? So 3 to the first power plus 3 to the second power plus 3 to the third power. If you add all of those up, you get the number 39. And our fun fact about 39, getting biblical, is there are 39 books in the Old Testament, which is very exciting. Starts with Genesis, just in case you don't know.
Wow, that's very nice. Lots of new knowledge about the number 39. Let's check our next event on our joyometer. Finding the perfect Christmas gift under your tree. What kind of joy does that bring you? 63. Higher than your math test. I bet there is on our next joyometer, but let's learn about the number 63.
All right, getting to know 63. Our level 1 knowledge, you can break it apart using your expanded form with 60 plus 3. That is 6 tens and 3 ones. Our level 2 knowledge, you can make it using your basic fact knowledge of 9 times 7. That's 9 groups of 7 will give you 63. Fun fact, commutative property, 7 times 9 gives you the same answer. And then our Einstein level knowledge, this one's pretty crazy. You can actually use the first 6, if you're counting the 0 power as the first power, powers of 2 to give you the sum of 63. And our fun fact, if you are bringing someone in the Philippines, that was supposed to rhyme, but it did not, you will use the country code plus 63. So before you dial their home number, you have to do plus 63, and that will connect you to the people in the Philippines.
Wowzers, mind blown by those ones, Mr. Butler. Those were amazing facts. Our last joyometer is a little different. I've got the score of 100. You all need to figure out what real life moment gives you the joy of 100.
Ooh.
Ideas?
Think
think,
stick from Pizza Hut. Those
Mm,
are delicious.
let's
Mint
see.
chocolate chip ice cream.
Those are
In
all
bed.
good ones. Our score of 100 is any situation we face, as we know God has a plan for each of us. Every day, every problem, everything that we face, we should have a joy of 100, as we know God is always planning for our future.
So I'm going to do this really quickly because we have a time limit. Get to know 100. Level 1, you can do it by using 50 plus 50. Level 2, you can do 10 times 10 or 10 squared will give you 100. In our Einstein level knowledge, you can actually write 100 using binary, using the digits 1100100. And our fun fact, in 1963, maybe, the NBA record for the most points scored in a single game, Wilt Chamberlain scored 100 points.
Wowzers, Mr. Butler. Those are some amazing facts. And don't forget, from the Butlers, find joy in every day because God has a plan for you.
I can't believe I ate so much of this delicious pie. That was not part of the plan, but I definitely felt joy while I was eating it.
I'm glad that the taste of your grandma's pie made you so happy, and I'm going to tell you what's making me happy and joyful is your hat. I love it so much. I wish you'd wear it every single day. I know that you've been feeling really sad lately because you didn't get to go to your grandparents' house so much for the holidays. Maybe some of you are feeling like Olivia, and your plans have had to change this year. It's totally okay to feel sad when your plans have to change.
Yeah, it's okay to feel sad, but you don't have to dwell on the sadness.
And you don't have to stay sad. There could be a bigger reason why your plans changed. Just think about it. Before God revealed his plan to Mary, Mary had her own plans and hopes and dreams. But her plans changed because God had a bigger plan for her. It's the same for us. We have our own plans, but sometimes God has bigger plans for us.
Yeah, I had my calendar full of my plans, but maybe I need to make some room for God's plans.
Yeah, God knows everything. He has a plan for you, and he has a bigger and better plan than you could ever dream up.
And if you're sad when plans change, it's okay. Don't dwell on it. You can still have joy knowing your plans are within bigger plans.
The bottom line for today is that you can have joy because God has a plan for you.
That makes me so happy. And I found some whipped cream. Let's eat some more pie.
Thanks for joining us today. Check out the family discussion questions coming up and share some of your answers in the comments section. We would love to hear from you. And if you're in the Charlotte area with us, don't forget to check out this week's Advent activities in your Christmas in a bag. Have a great week, and we'll see you next time. Can I have some of your pie?
Yeah.